Good evening, everybody. This is the Mystic Quest Randomizer. Today we're bringing you the third qualifier round for the Mystic Quest Randomizer tournament. My name is Haybinks, and I will be one of your two hosts for tonight's event. I'm joined here in the booth with Jiggly Saint. It looks like they're having a slight technical difficulty, so we're working on getting their audio up and running. But we've already started the race right now. Tonight we'll be featuring X10 Power and Sir Link-a-Lot.
Still nothing? Oh, there we go, there we go.
Hey, welcome back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to my voice. I mean, it was like, everything's fine, and then all of a sudden you're going live and it's like, nothing.
Oh man, well, I'm glad we got you back. So it looks like we got a strong start here. Both of our runners starting with Mega Grenades as an early pickup. That'll make a lot of this early section here pretty easy in terms of dealing with these monsters and clearing out this first battleground. All right, so while we get things set up here, it looks like we are trying to work out a few things. I'll go ahead and cover the flags that we're going over there tonight. So tonight's SGL seed flags are going to be set for vanilla locations. So what we mean by vanilla locations is any red chest, NPC, or battleground spawn that you would get for a item in the original Mystic Quest game. Those spots will have key item drops in this randomizer, and it looks like Tristan is off to a good start, giving us a good old steel shield to both of our runners, and a steel sword from that first chest. So anytime you would get an item from an NPC for this randomizer, it'll be shuffled up to be a key item. Now, whether or not that item's progression or not remains to be seen. But that's how that's going to work out. On top of the shuffling of items for standard locations, we're also going to be giving our runners a 2.5 times bonus to their XP gain. So that way progression is going to be a little smoother for them. And that is a great pickup from this first dungeon here. Looks like our runners both have the Dragon Claw from that first chest. So a strong start in terms of equipment, Dragon Claw and Mega Grenade both being go mode items here. And what we mean by go mode is there are 8 key items that these runners need in order to get to the final dungeon and challenge the Dark King. So we need the Dragon Claw, Mega Grenades. We also need the Thunder Rock, Captain's Cap, Mobius Crest, Sun Coin, and Sky Coin. And both of these runners making quick work of the first dungeon boss here. And it looks like our runner's got Suncoin and Blizzard. So, not a very powerful spell from the black spell list, but a great item to kind of open up the world and start with here.
Can I speak now? Oh, there we go.
Oh, it looks like they've allowed you to speak now.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. We really do apologize.
And it still looks like we're working on some of those technical issues for my co-commentator here, Jiggly Saint. So apologies about that, chat. We will go ahead and still keep working on getting that done. And it looks like we are at just hunting down for coins at this point. X10 going for that Sun coin chest and picks up a huge pickup for this randomizer. Exit is one of those spells that's definitely not go mode, but it's definitely something every runner wants to see. Essentially what that'll do is cut all these dungeon times in half for all of our runners. So traveling in is going to be one part, and then you just simply cast exit to leave. It's as easy as that, as long as you have the charges. Keeping up with your charges early game is going to be something. And it looks like Sir Lancelot's stopping at a battleground to make some quick cash for some money routing. And X10 opts to take his axe and go to the Alive Forest for a quick check down where the Giant's Axe chest normally is. And it looks like he picked up noble armor. And Linkalot doing a lot of the same routing here. I just missed what the shopkeeper had. Looking over at Linkalot, trying to get things fixed over here. And a smart move by X10 here. Gonna go for some early power level gain. However, knowing that taking on these late game battlegrounds really early with Tristram 1 is gonna be a risk. So opting to save there in case things go south and they can't recover. That way they're not stuck at this battleground for all eternity. And it looks like the store in Windia has the Captain's Cap, another go mode item. So our runners will definitely want to be doing their shopping here. As a reminder, the store in Windia needs 400 GP. The shop in Fireburg needs 500 GP, and the shop in Aquaria needs 200. And it looks like Sir Lancelot's also opting to get some early levels. Both of these runners are risking it a little bit at our hagfish fights. To try to get some levels, since they have the mega grenades, they have the damage. It's just a matter of not getting ambushed, and it is a single fight, so it's some good levels here. And it looks like we're opting to go to Pazuzu's tower. And X10 now has a Knight Sword. Yes, this is, as Shanigan said, this is definitely one of our spicier starts, being forced into Pazuzu's tower. These enemies are definitely something you want to deal with at higher levels, usually around like 12, 13-ish, and especially not with this partner. Tristram 1 is notoriously bad being a partner. Really, his only function is healing and getting you an item in the bone dungeon. So to be forced to take him in here is going to take a lot of intense planning and some good luck to not get basically stun locked by these enemies. And it looks like there's been some decent layout from the enemies, but we see up on X10 we have a double stack of some nasty enemy formations here that we've got to deal with.
Any better? There we go. Looks like, let's see if I cut out here.
Got you so far. Hopefully you'll stay with me the whole time, partner.
Yeah.
And it's not looking... It's looking like some of these wizard mobs have rolled some high HP as well, so It's going to be a little tough to deal with, especially without any spells. Thankfully, both of our runners are taking advantage of the Dragon Claw to potentially roll some petrification rolls. So for anybody who's not familiar with the game or hasn't played in a long time, the Dragon Claw can basically inflict just about every status effect in the game. And so what it looks like our runners are hoping for here, powering through some of these first couple fights, is that Ben gets off a hit with the Dragon Claw and then succeeds in petrifying the enemy so that they KO instantly. Now, some of these enemies having cure like this is definitely not helping their case. So a bit of a gamble, but it looks like we are routed in here, so we're going to see our runners really improvise and bring some new strategies to the table that you might not otherwise see in a normal run. Both of them doing a great job, though, by the way, about neck and neck. And for those of you joining us who might not be familiar with this, on top of the items being shuffled in their vanilla locations, the enemy locations themselves have been shuffled. So there is going to be a bit of luck here in terms of enemy positions. Some locations you might see, you just kind of cruise right on by our enemies and don't really have to deal with them, but it looks like here in P Tower or Pazuzu's Tower, we have some opposition standing in the way. But a nice Cupid Locket pickup by Sir Link-a-Lot, that's going to help prevent him from getting confused, and I forget the other status ailment that Cupid Locket really helps with, but Confusion's the big check on that one. That'll definitely help late game.
Again, I apologize for this.
That's all right.
Yeah.
As long as we can get this worked out, it sounds like we've still got you good. And Link, just to bring you up to speed, Link-a-Lot's just picked up the gas mask, so that'll definitely help out if he needs to make a trip to Volcano later.
That sounds good. And yeah, and we find out. Yeah, we have the Dragon Claw, so that also means the mines and logic as well.
Yeah, it's. This seed has been opened up and also railroaded at the same time. The item selection here for our runners, they both have swords, axes, bombs, and Dragon Claw here, so they definitely have everything they need in terms of kit to traverse the land. It's just a matter of getting the items to get to those locations that they are missing.
Okay. Oh.
And I don't know if Sir Link-a-Lot... It looks like our runners might be forced into fighting Pazuzu here. Not something I personally would want to do with Tristram 1, but it doesn't look like our seed's given them many other options here.
Yeah, early Pazuzu, that's just no. That's just no.
And not something you want to see. Now, they could get lucky here, and they could roll a low HP Pazuzu, giving them a bit of leeway here. But there are one or two other options available to our runners. Let's see how they tackle this. And I have a feeling that we are going to see a lot of deaths here in the beginning, mostly due to the RNG nature of these encounters, whether or not our runners are getting ambushed or whether or not they are having to deal with just bad rolls and missing a lot of their targets, with Ben being so level and Tristram as well. Tristram's locked at level 7 here, and with no other partner options to swap to, really kind of relying on our runners' creativity here, and they're doing a fantastic job of mitigating a lot of this, taking choices to either gamble for an auto kill with the petrification from Dragon Claw, or seeing if they can do enough damage to get a KO on multiple enemies with mega grenades. And it looks like Link-a-Lot is setting up, and X10 are both setting up to basically fight Pazuzu if they need to, but are opting to go ahead and reroute and try to take out some of the other checks they're able to grab with Dragon Claw and mega grenades before taking on that daunting task. Chanting and mentioning that this might be the worst seed he's ever rolled, but forgetting that we had a practice run routing us directly into Lava Dome with not many resources and a rather nasty wyvern. But that's neither here nor there. And it looks like we've got some divergence from our runners here. X10 opting to go back to Giant Tree to check what the boss chest is going to give, and Linkalot taking Mount Gale. Both of these locations do have slight travel obstacles to overcome, both requiring the Dragon Claw, but neither being terribly daunting. And I hear whispers of my co-commentator here. Jiggly, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay,
Coming
I
through
think
loud
we
and clear.
fixed the problem, at least for now, so
Awesome.
yeah, let's hope.
So yeah, like I was... So go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just saying, I gotta get everything back now here.
Oh, good. I'll bring you up to speed. It looks like we have a little divergence from our runners here, with X10 taking a routing decision to finish out Giant Tree, while Sir Lancelot taking the slightly shorter option, but a little more treacherous with going to Mount Gale.
Yeah, Mount Gale. Mount Gale's, well, see how many... There's only, there's only one check in the tree, isn't there?
Yes, there's one check in the tree, and both of our runners actually stopped by the Alive Forest earlier to grab the giant axe chest,
And
which I believe that wielded them noble armor or the sun
Noble
coin.
armor. Okay, that's a good find at least.
Yeah, and like our chat is pointing out here, both of these runners are having to work with Tristram 1 in both of their boss encounters here. That is going to be our major handicap point here. But like I said, they've been doing a great job here, improvising, really working with their items to find creative solutions to some of these problems. I think at this point it's just a matter of luck getting through some of these boss encounters. We'll see how they hold out.
Oh, and it looks like, Sir Lancelot taking a wipe.
Now, the silver lining to all this is that our runners have both picked up exits, so making decisions like this isn't necessarily going to kill their runs. They are definitely going to be able to take a loss, and as long as they're saving before they take their losses, they can go ahead and reload, exit out, kind of re-strategize, and maybe come back with a new item or two depending on their routing here. And it looks like Linkalot here is taken to the XP grind. Slime's relatively safe outside of damage, not a lot of status effects they can inflict, and he has Mega Grenades, so it does have their weakness.
Now the only problem with the slimes is, of course, you can't just use magic on them.
Correct. For those of you who might not know, slimes are one of the 3 enemies in the game that can reflect damage back at our runners here. So if any spells are used, that damage is sent right back to our runners. And so a lot of this is going to be weapon-based. And I don't think they actually have any high-end spells to work with. I think the strongest spell they've picked up so far is Blizzard. So nothing really spectacular to work with. Honestly, with bombs being the strength against slimes, they do have the damage. It's just a matter of getting not ambushed and getting their rolls in. And it looks like Linkalot's doing a very smart strategy here of saving it between each counter, so he doesn't basically get stuck in a bad formation like he did with the skeletons earlier.
Yeah, let's hope the prize for this battlefield is something that'll be useful.
Fingers crossed. I believe both of the battlefields here are vanilla configured, so both of these battlefields are going to give XP rewards, which isn't an item by any means, but it does get Ben up a little bit stronger, a little bit beefier, and a little bit faster. And I think speed and HP are going to be the name of the game to getting through here, getting through Windia earlier, and getting back to some of the lower level sections.
Yeah, the only problem with the bombs, of course, is that now there is a bomb shop in Windia, right?
I don't believe there is a bomb vendor. Now, there is a surplus of brown chests for our runners in the tree. So if they want to take their chances with some of the brown chests rolling some resources there, however, like you brought up, running out of bombs might be a big problem for both of our runners.
I do recall, though, if the brown chests are in their vanilla locations, I do believe that Focus Tower does have one on the first floor.
Unfortunately for both of our runners and for the rest of SGL, brown box contents have been shuffled. So for anybody who might not know, it means any of these brown boxes that you see on Linkolet's screen here, and X10's there for just a moment, their contents have been shuffled. So if a box would normally give something like a seed or an explosive, it has a high chance of maybe just giving you a cure potion or heal potion or the dreaded can of soda, or what I like to call refreshers.
They look like a can of Coca-Cola, let's be honest.
I think they just wanted to leave it open to our imagination there, so whatever you find refreshing.
From our RPG, where they just call it the Caro Cola.
TM. And it looks like X10 here is taking some of that advice you just mentioned here, trying to farm some of these brown boxes here. He's running a little low on explosives. I think he's down to about 20-ish.
Yeah. Yeah, those bombs, if you can't get to a bomb vendor, then yeah. And the worst part about Tristram is, like I was mentioning earlier, or I don't know if we actually caught that, but the problem with the brown boxes in Tristram and Phoebe is that any chest that could possibly contain explosives is more likely to contain the partner's ammo.
Yeah, unless you're rolling Kaylee or Ruben, you have a 50-50 on getting partner ammo or explosives from that point.
Well, what I mentioned earlier is that the partner, a lot of the chests that, think are just explosives are mostly partner ammo.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like X10 has started their fight here with Ghidra. Let's hope that the odds are in their favor and the HP has rolled low. Not a great start here with some of the CC.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do believe exit doesn't work anymore on the enemies.
So I believe that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that, yeah, unfortunately, X10 wiped against Ghidra and the Skulgers.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to take another stab at it here. For enemies, I believe there's only about 3 or 4 enemies in the game, including 2 of the refights that are susceptible to exit. They are still susceptible to exit with this randomizer. What you won't be seeing tonight, though, is the cure glitch on Dark King. That has been patched out. So once these runners do eventually make it to Dark King, they will have to fight him the au natural way. And folks, let me tell you, he can be pretty nasty.
Yeah, so I think I would have tried. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think Skulgers are also weak against life.
I believe so. So being able to utilize Tristram here might be worth it. However, his level might be too low to actually inflict life damage. I think we just saw X10 consider it here. And I think I saw X10 queuing up an exit.
And let's see, there's exit. That's one exit down. We just get the other one down here, all that paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
Nasty.
I think our runners would rather have Ben be paralyzed at this point, since Tristram does have life charges, than seeing Tristram go down here. Now they could roll lucky here, and hopefully Ghidra will just sit here and spam gas for the rest of their turns.
There's a quake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and down goes Ben. Ooh, and a petrify. Oh no.
Yeah, a lot of status elements here on Ghidra. And unfortunately, our runners have been railroaded. Now, they could opt out to leave and go back to Pazuzu and hope that he's rolled low as well. But I think both of our runners here currently sticking to the course, trying to get lucky here on some RNG rolls, with Ghidra hoping that Tristram doesn't get paralyzed. And just like we see here, X10 managed to get Ben paralyzed, which is okay since Tristram, it looks like, has some okay speed, and we'll be able to pick Ben up.
Well, that actually does bring up an interesting question. Is there such a thing as an uncompletable just based on monster strength versus, accessibility to XP?
It's a great question to bring up. I don't think any of us have ever run across it yet so far. And I think with luck being the way it works in this game, I think if there's a will, there's a way. It's just a matter of how much time you are going to be sinking into some of these fights. So it's just a matter of a mixture of luck and maybe persistence here, and maybe we'll be able to see our runners persevere here.
And one of the problems with Mystic Quest, though, is that there's not a lot of randomization.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's...
It looks like our runners are both caught up to each other now, so... But the randomization part is something to bring up.
I mean, randomization in terms of in the game. So, I mean, randomizing, obviously, with the program and all that stuff, but there's not a whole lot of variance actually in the game, is there?
No, not a ton in terms of the enemy kind of usage of skills and, what enemies we're getting here. And it looks like Link-a-Lot might be opting to go back to Pazuzu, or maybe even grinding up from enemies in the tree itself.
I mean, if you look at that, Link-a-Lot is 17, whereas I think X10 was 12.
Yeah, and levels might be the way to go here. It's not a route that we normally see in the randomizer. However, it is an option. We could just beef up Ben to about 20-25 range. Basically get him up to late game early.
We didn't actually get that Mount Gale check, did we?
No, I believe Link-a-Lot opted to take an exit. So it could be locked behind either of these mini-bosses or Pazuzu. All these runners need is another coin, essentially at this point. Either the sand coin or the river coin, and then they can start really making some progress here. And it looks like X10 is also opting to take the power leveling route, looking to beef up Ben, really kind of get his stats up to where he's the one carrying the team and basically having Tristram as a life bot for as long as possible. And I think that's going to be the major play here for both of our runners.
Yeah, there just isn't much of a choice at this point.
Correct, but it does bring in some of that versatility we have with our runners. So being able to see them improvise like this, seeing them, make these decisions, these flexes is a whole other part of running this randomizer. Not something you would see normally with a vanilla game.
Hey, remember when we all thought Mystic Quest was an easy game? This was the beginner's Final Fantasy.
Oh, yes. The revenge of Mystic Quest is what we have here with this seed.
Oh, but I mean, this randomizer, at least this randomizer functions. It's not like the other randomizer that was out there. Have you ever seen that randomizer? Yeah, that was...
I think I picked it up one time and I was like, what is this?
Yeah. You've got your choice of, everything is like barely randomized, and it's like if you want to get to the good randomization, it's like enemies hit you for 9999 damage. Or in this case, I don't believe there is a damage cap.
Yeah, and thankfully in this one has been tweaked to where enemies won't be too crazy. And I think for our SGLCs, we have a 50-50 spread. So enemies, as a base, can get 50% of their natural stats from the vanilla game, and then they can vary up to 50% stronger. Or 50% weaker, or I believe it's 75. Let me check the seed settings again while both of our runners are here grinding out some XP. And to answer Lower Rules question from chat, yes, Link-a-Lot has attempted to surmount Mount Gale, but to no avail. Looking to grind out some levels before he goes and takes on Dual Hand again. So let me pull up our SpeedGaming Live seeds here. Yes, and it does look like our enemies are starting off with 75% stat scaling, which essentially means that they're scaled to about 75% of their normal strength, and then with a 50% spread. So our enemies can actually be 25% as strong as they normally are from vanilla, all the way up to 125% as strong as they normally are in vanilla. So these guys can get downright nasty if the rolls are not in our runner's favor here.
So let's hope here that this is a soft Pazuzu.
Yep, Lancelot making the opportunity, or making the decision to go ahead and take on Pazuzu. Fingers crossed for a paper Pazuzu, and a strong start with a crit here from both of his partners. Those dives are definitely going to be some of the sticking points that he's going to be looking to avoid here.
Ooh, that's nasty.
And it does not look like we rolled a paper Pazuzu, so might be taking his chances going back to the Doulahan fight or grinding out. And it looks like X10 has got the same kind of vibe going on over here, looking to grind out some levels, gear up, and kind of do the best they can with the circumstances they've been given to really take out one of these three bosses. If our runners can take out either Ghidra, Doulahan, or Pazuzu, more likely than not, this seed will definitely open up, and we'll see some progression going very quickly for both of these runners.
Now, we also did check the bridge, right?
So, with this being vanilla locations for Red Chest,
that's
there
right.
are no...
Yeah, that's right. The bridge means nothing. I'm sorry. I always love playing with the brown box shuffled into the mix,
So yeah, no, we'll bring that up to the chat real quick. This randomizer is available for folks who are looking to get into this randomizer. All you have to do is have a viable ROM, and you can go ahead to... let me pull up the site real quick here. It is ffmqrando.net. And one of the settings that a lot of our community members really like to roll is brown box shuffling, which essentially makes it to where any of the brown box locations can have a key item check.
Yeah. Now this randomizer is highly customizable. If you don't enjoy fighting, you can set things, 25% enemy density, ×3 leveling. You can even reduce the amount of battlefields to just 1 if you don't feel like fighting them. So, there's a lot of options. If you just want to concentrate on finding items, then, you can do that.
Yeah, you could essentially craft yourself a boss rush or even a final boss rush seed with being able to customize the Doom Tower to either be in boss rush mode or Dark King only mode. And it looks like we have a bit of a divergence here in terms of level routing. Sir Lancelot taking to grind out Pazuzu's tower, while X10 is looking to maybe grind out some levels within Tree and just getting just high enough to get past Ghidra.
The unfortunate thing about Ghidra is that Arrow would definitely help right here, right about now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
Arrow being the black magic spell that you get last in vanilla, being a strengthening against both Ghidra and Pazuzu, although not Doulahan, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, no, Doulahan, no, if I remember correctly, I think the only thing that can actually hurt Doulahan is Meteor.
Meteor and white, since it is non-elemental.
Meteor and white, right. White is the non-elemental. It is basically holy.
Lancelot also looking like he's utilizing this first floor here, not opting to travel throughout the tower, basically clearing out this first floor, leaving, clear out the first floor, leaving. This will also help him with some of his money gain too. Eventually Tristan will run out of life charges, since I believe he only starts with 7. But being able to grind out some cash from these encounters will let him use the inn back in Windia to recharge his spell charges.
Lancelot is level 20, so I wonder if that's not quite enough.
We shall see. Having 800 HP on Ben is going to be one thing, but having his stats be buffed like this is also going to be another. So hopefully here we'll be able to tank some hits, get some good pops off with Ben, and really get through one of these bosses. And I have not seen...
on the Mount Gale here. Let's try again on Mountain Gale.
Revenge fight for Doulahan, saving at the start here, so in case he's not able to take out Doulahan, does not have to make the travel back to the beginning here, can just go ahead and reload his save and leave immediately. I have not seen Lancelot's weapon loadout. I do not know if he picked up the Night Sword like X10 did. I'll in for another save in the middle here.
Actually, no, according to the tracker, it's no, but where was the Night Sword? Was that, In fact, now that I think about it, what were Pazuzu's chests so far?
I was unable to track, unfortunately. I was trying to keep keep an eye out for everything. I believe one of them was the Cupid Locket.
Well, the Cupid Locket is useful at least, but
Does give them some stats, and they do have a Steel Shield, and while very, very minor, it does give them a slight defense and evasion bonus. Cupid Locket giving them immunity to confusion is a huge thing for Ben, but being able to survive those initial hits is going to be crucial for putting that confusion immunity to good use.
And here we go. Houlihan round 2, I think. That's good. You can at least take out the vampires, but oh, there goes the sleep. Now,
go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say because you know, X10 power. The noble armor, I believe, protects against sleep.
Noble armor, I believe, protects you against poison. It's the Gaia armor that gives you the sleep resistance.
Okay, yeah, that's right. So, yeah, unfortunately, yeah. That's right, the Cupid Locket, I think, protects against confusion and silence.
I believe so.
I know that in the base game, Cupid Locket is like really nice to have.
Yeah, especially for Dark King. Oh no, got an early confusion roll on Tristram here on Sir Linkalot's roll, and Dullahan not being friendly in the slightest, going for that double cleave attack, which almost works like spell damage. It's divided up among your party members, but if there's only one of you left standing, it'll do a good 700 to 800, depending on how their stat rolled.
Still level 20, not enough to take down Dullahan. This is...
Yeah, it is a little rough. And Chanigan giving us an update from chat here. Noble armor does give you water and poison resistance. Cupid Locket protecting you from blind, confusion, and silence.
Ah.
I think any other partner at this point might give our runners a bit of a leg up here, but being stuck with Tristram 1 again, just not looking good in terms of having a partner here. Linkalot still plugging away at Dullahan though, hoping to get some lucky rolls and being able to work their way through finishing this fight.
There goes that sleep, and then at least...
Thankfully he's got the water resistance from Noble Armor, yeah.
Okay, so the tracker doesn't say Noble Armor then on that side.
Let me go ahead and update that. That is my fault, I apologize.
It's okay, it's hard to... Every new community has their growing pains.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the status effects from both of these bosses. X10 finally going back to Geetra, seeing if they could get lucky here. The status effects on both of these bosses are nasty, basically locking our players down with either nasty stuns, petrification, or just outright death in some cases.
Any other thing would have just, like, even a Venus Shield. A Venus Shield would do a lot. That would avoid the paralysis.
For sure.
Here we go.
It looks like Linkalot is taking another chance here at Dullahan. I thought they were going to leave.
At this point in time, I would actually think that it'd be better to just try and preemptively try and cure Ben with the life. You don't know. Nope. Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, normally I would agree with you, but with Tristram only having 7 charges, he's got 7 opportunities to preempt Ben, and Tristram having only 360 life himself. One look the wrong way from any of these enemies accompanying the mini boss or the mini boss himself, and you lost your healer essentially.
Yeah. Now, if I'm not mistaken, too, I think you can cure paralysis with a heal potion.
Yes, any of the status elements can be taken off with the heal potion. Is essentially Isuna the heal potion is the Asuna of the game, or once you get the heal spell, functioning the same way.
Here we go. X10 is going to try heal Tristram. And there we go. One hit. Okay, might be able... There we go. Gets off the life spell. And there we go. Now that means you're paralyzed. What do? Do you go after the boss, or do you try and... here we go. Try to go after the boss here, and... Okay, and...
X10 getting lucky here. Tristan breaking free of that paralysis. Hopefully he'll be able to get this life spell off and stay alive.
Come on.
Looking.
And, okay, there we go. Oh, that's no good.
Unfortunate critical hit on X10's side. Sir Lancelot back to the grind over here on the left.
We are 41 minutes in.
And this is definitely a taxing seed. Now, I think once these runners are able to make any sort of progression, the rest of the seed will fly by. So it really is basically a hope and a prayer here that either one of our runners gets through one of these mini bosses and gets an item to get them into either Aquaria or Fireberg, because they are kitted out to finish both of the other areas. I believe they have everything they need to full clear those locations.
Yeah, and they're definitely not going to be lacking in power.
And an update from Chanigan here. It looks like we have 3 forfeits out of 7 runners tonight. Unfortunately, the seed is not looking friendly. But
I would highly suggest we scrap this and start a new one. It's like 41, like, you know, so many hours in, or so much time in. It's like it's not. I think we just basically hit the max evade chaos. I think that's what happens with Final Fantasy. Or maybe it's like max evade pirates or something.
That is essentially what we're looking at here. We'll go ahead and communicate with the organizers here and kind of see what we're going to do from here. But in the meantime here, it looks like both of our runners here still plugging away, trying to make the best they can out of this very unfortunate situation.
I think we can take comfort knowing that neither one of us is responsible for this seed.
That is true. I did not commit any. I did not contribute any hex values to the seed rolls.
Hex values.
But I do want to give a shout out to both of our runners here tonight, and all the runners still running and persisting with this qualifier. This is definitely kind of a worst case scenario seed, and they're really kind of showing off how nasty the randomizer can be, and those odds can roll, but still persisting through, trying to look for the slightest sliver of chance here to persevere and make some progress.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's like a way that you could like institute sort of a fail-safe.
Essentially a gimme item, if you would.
Well, I'm thinking like if this type of scenario like Tristram, you know, is, you know, stuck at like level 7 and all that kind of stuff, if there's not like some way to like, okay, after wiping like 20 times, you know, there's like a slight buff.
Or maybe just talking to an NPC and turning your Tristram into a coin so you can leave and go to another area.
You know, I thought this community hated Tristram enough as it is.
Oh, I'm sure those reservoirs run deep. He's not liked in this community. And Linkalot looks like he's up to 22 now. Looks like either they're coming back for a refresh on both of his party members, or might actually be gearing up to take another stab at our mini bosses here.
Linkalot is level 22, and it's still... Here we go. He's going to go... Okay, he's going to try again with Deidre.
Yeah, probably going to hope for no petrify rolls on any of the attacks, and paralysis on Ben, so that way Tristan can get him out of the corner here.
Do we even know if Ghidra or Doulahan have rolled up?
Unfortunately, there's no way to tell unless you essentially fight our bosses here. So knowing the stat rolls of any of the enemies is really only found through combat. There's no real tell on how strong an enemy is at a glance or first encounter.
Pazuzu's completely out of the question too.
Potentially, I don't think either of our runners had some luck, but the sheer amount of damage that Pazuzu can output, even if he does roll low, kind of rules him out as an early option here for our runners.
Anything, like a wizard spell, life spell, those would go a long way into helping, get through this.
They definitely would. And I think one of the biggest handicaps here is honestly the partners. In Mystic Quest, your partner contributes so much to your progression. Being handicapped with Tristan 1 here, really bringing our runners down, because your heal bot, essentially, your partner that's kind of your safety net, is now a liability with how low level they are and the limitations of their kit.
Suppose it could be worse. You could be stuck with Kaylee 1.
True, you could be stuck with a level 3 partner. And that would not be ideal. I believe Kaylee only has about 160 HP.
Something like that, yeah. No, and nothing except the life spell either. Kaylee 2, though, would definitely... Well, actually, no. That would actually, no. Oh, no, that would only be if you found the requisite items, but... If you somehow managed to look into the Tree Wither and Elixir, then you would have been set.
Yeah, essentially. And then you'd be able to trade up for Kaylee too at the Windia Inn and have a partner that does have some status resistances, is packing a giant axe for some damage and arrow, which would help get you through these 3 enemy fights here.
Here we go. Oh, what's that? The Captain's Cap? Yeah.
Captain's Cap from 10.
Yeah, which is a go mode item, but not immediately used.
Yeah, unfortunately not able to be used to get anywhere else to find some other progression.
You can't even get into the dock to check up on and see, hey, where's the ship?
Yep, you'll need the Mobius crest for that.
Now, granted, if you had the Mobius crest, you could also backdoor the multi-key house, and that would hopefully lead to an item.
Yeah, and it's not looking like our runners are able to find any bomb chests either, so both of our runners trying to ration out the use of those items.
Yeah, that's the other worst thing too, is you're running out of bombs. And the worst part is you could probably have all the bombs you wanted if you could just get rid of Tristram.
Yeah, I think both of our runners at this point would trade all the bombs in the world if they could get a different partner.
Here we go, is this round 3 for Cyril and Collad, or round 4? I'm losing count.
I believe round 3.
Round 3, Paralyze Earl. And there we go, that's that. I think you're gonna need to break at least 1,000 HP to have even a shot.
Yeah, look, it might be the 1,000 threshold or just luck. Honestly, getting through some of these fights with Tristram somehow surviving long enough and not taking any damage, you could essentially luck out for some shots here or there, and it would be a war of attrition, but you could theoretically clear out one of these enemies with luck like that. Yeah, double paralysis here. You almost hate to see paralysis worse than petrification, because the game gives you a chance of rolling out of paralysis. So there's always that little glimmer of hope that can be sometimes snuffed out by not breaking free.
Go, we got another Doulahan attempt.
Life, so life being death on some enemies was a feature. I don't know if it has been reworked here in the randomizer to essentially affect that way, but even so, a lot of the vanilla enemies, and especially the mini bosses here, are immune to that instant death effect. So unfortunately they would not be able to utilize that, especially with Tristram being so low. A lot of the life effects for enemies, even using life to instant kill undead enemies, is level locked for partners and just sometimes does not work for Ben at all.
Yeah. But also too, though, that if they could be taken down by the life spell, then they could be taken down, I think, by the Dragon Claw as well.
Correct, and that is if they are susceptible to petrification, which a lot of mini bosses are. But it looks like we're seeing some progress here on X10, managing to get down to just Doulahan. Although we do have Tristram asleep here, he did manage to get off a poison and is now bombing Doulahan in the face too. I think this is the furthest we've gotten on Doulahan.
Unfortunately, there it goes.
Yep, but there is a glimmer of hope here. So let's see if X10 can grind this out and get some progression done. And KO this Doulahan to make some progress here, hoping that we get a coin from Doulahan, or Lincolite gets a coin from Ghidra so they could start checking other locations.
So what do you think would be the worst item to find right now on Doulahan?
Honestly, heal.
Heal?
I think if I were to see the heal spell pop out of one of these mini bosses, I personally would be heartbroken after going through the trials and tribulations that these runners have persevered through.
Considering the forfeits, I kind of wonder if that's exactly what happened.
It could be. We'll have to catch up with some of our racers after to see what happened. But it could just be that we do have 3 other qualifiers. So next week we will be airing 3 more qualifiers before we proceed to brackets. So, you know, some of our racers might have taken a strategic withdrawal from the seed and said, no, I'm not making a lot of good progress. Let's go ahead and save myself some of the stress, and we'll go ahead and qualify again. So, because each of our runners only need to complete 2 qualifiers. X10 living the dream here. Hold on, managed to get the paralysis status on Doulahan. Let's see how long that holds out.
Come on, come on. Oh, here we go.
Phase 3 and a crit from Tristram.
This might be it.
The Beverly Hills Ninja himself actually putting in some work.
There we go.
X10 gets down Doulahan. Let's see what they got. And it's a river coin. We got some progress here, chat.
X10 power with the progression.
Let's get some hype in the chat for X10 here. Really getting some lucky rolls and persevering here, making the dream come alive, getting the heck out of Windia for now, looking to get themselves a Reuben. I personally could go for a Reuben myself right about now, but jokingly called our tastiest ally here. Reuben will be packing a Morning Star, and if we do see the upgrade to Reuben to white, and I think 17 life charges.
Also, I do believe he gains the fire protection.
Correct, although no other status ailment resistances, but Tristram doesn't have any himself, so any resistances are better than none.
And the most important thing is we're going to be able to buy bombs and seeds.
Correct, so restocking is going to be a thing here. Lincolite still plugging away here on Ghidra, hoping to put that level 22 to good use and really make some headway here.
Here's an interesting one. So if there's progression on Ghidra, what do you think it'll be? It'll be interesting if it's the sand coin.
Yeah, if we could see some route divergence from Ghidra and get that sand coin, that could be an option here.
I mean, sand coin plus Gemini crest, that would basically be as good as a river coin.
Yeah, definitely being able to go to any other location.
Oh, we found that. What was that? Heal?
It looked like either heal or cure. The pop-up came by a little too quickly. Thankfully, the spells are not kept on the tracker, so I do not have to worry about keeping that up.
Spells are not, progression, so...
Correct.
Although progressive spells would be an interesting idea.
And let me get some chat hype for finally swapping out Ruben 1 for a new partner, Ruben 2, sporting a 1040 life pool, level 23, and that beautiful, beautiful Morning Star.
And of course, Tristram 2 has one of the more useless, I guess arguably useless items.
Yeah, the magic mirror, although for the randomizer with enemy density here, it could make or break some of our runs later in the other qualifiers, being able to either quickly navigate Ice Pyramid or opting to go in blind and take some fights. And I did see that we also picked up a Giant's Axe for Ben. We got some.
Actually,
we're getting some upgrades
not
already.
Bad against these plant enemies, yeah.
Correct. Axe. For those who don't know, Axe is an element in this game, much like fire and water. In the world of Mystic Quest, Axe is also one of the main elements of the world, and we're going to be seeing X10 put that to good use in these fights here, with it being one of the strongest weapons in his possession right now.
That also has a habit of missing.
Chat asking here if levels actually affect your resistance to status ailments in this game. That I don't know for sure. I think the only immunities that are granted are from armor, but whether or not your level impacts your resistance or the chance of that status effect to hit you, I'm not sure. I believe they are always 100% unless the move misses for some reason.
Yeah, I'm inclined to believe that as well, because, yeah, without even at a high level, without the status, preventing equipment, yeah, all the late game enemies just, ugh.
Yeah. And it is nice to see Link-a-Lot here, still plugging away at Ghidra, looking to make some progression here. Hopefully some well-timed heals and some luck will be on their side as well. Maybe if they're able to also get off a paralysis on Ghidra, we'll see some progression over there on Link-a-Lot's side.
And here we go, we have the mines. Skipping the Charm Claw, probably gonna get the Charm Claw chest afterwards.
Yeah, normally, I would think runners would try to rush Charm Claw, although after the PTSD of dealing with early Windia with the partners that X10 has dealt with, I think rushing to get a level 2 partner with White is definitely first on the shopping list.
Yeah.
And it looks like Sir Link-a-Lot has forfeited here, unfortunately, from what I'm seeing. So... we will go ahead.
But this seed is just way too much.
Yeah, definitely a challenging seed for anybody, and at this point, any other progression would probably lose you points or just impact your qualifier score. But X10 soldiering on here, really going to go ahead and show off the rest of the randomizer here.
Now, of any of the remaining participants, is anybody else past the, horrible block?
I would have to check in on that. Do we have anybody in the chat that can give us a status update on the other racers?
Ooh, sleep. So here we go. There's a heal.
Yep, and definitely like we noticed earlier, just having a way better kit and a way better partner here, this is going to look like Baby's first mini-boss fight compared to what the X10 was dealing with earlier.
Yeah, the only real problem is that you definitely do have that problem with the axe missing.
Low accuracy, high strength.
I would probably want to use... Well, there we go. That gets him down anyway.
And it is looking like we've got an update from Chanigan here. X10 is one of our 2 remaining runners for this seed.
There we go. We get a tree wither, and we get a free item when we get back to Fireburg.
Oh, nice.
Nope, can't go that way.
Yep, finding your way out of the
So there
mines
we go.
here.
Now they're gonna check the
Check the Charm Claw chest here.
yeah. And we've got here. Oh,
And Vanilla Charm Claw.
well. Unfortunately, we already have something better than the vanilla charm claw. Now we're gonna go check here, and because we've got exit, we can do some shenanigans.
However, I
There
do
we go.
believe
More
our runner
explosive
is
vents.
missing the Gemini crest.
That's right. But at least we found some explosives for free.
Correct.
Now we've got this volcano. Volcano's actually quite easy when you look. Here we go. We've got this chest. Oh, and there's a hidden enemy behind here. So
Yep, and
instead of the mask, the mask chest is, or should I say, the Medusa is blocking the exit. The Medusa is blocking the mask chest. Is that vanilla white?
I believe that is Vanilla White. So a lot
All right,
of we've got two vanillas back to back.
Randomizer was like, well, they're never going to get past Pazuzu, so might as well just keep everything vanilla.
Yeah, and I did get confirmation here that I think we have at least 3 runners still going. RPG Chick is still running, and she has also managed to make it past Doulahan.
There we go. Medusa is going to seem easy now in comparison.
Correct. Even with Ruben 1 here, Medusa will look like small potatoes compared to taking on Doulahan or Ghidra.
That's right. He could have gotten the Ruben too after. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because Ruben 2's more useful in the dome anyway.
Correct. And I think, honestly, raw dopamine is running through our runners here after making it past Doulahan. Just that sigh of relief given to both of the anyone who made it past that would be enough to put them in go mode, essentially.
Yeah.
And a low roll on Medusa, easy peasy lemon squeezy.
That's Elixir. So
Yeah,
now
we
Kaylee 2 is in logic.
Correct, and we have everything we need to do not only Kaylee 2, but also go and get her check at Windia.
Can you forgive me for just a moment? Or a few moments here?
Yeah, no, not at all.
Thing?
An X10 looking like they're either going to be going back to Kaylee or Windia here. Yep, opting to go back and get Kaylee 2. Really fast checks on Kaylee 1 is just clearing out the Minotaur, and as long as you have either jumbo bombs or mega grenades or any spell besides Quake, I believe you can one-shot the Minotaur here. So basically a free check. Seeing where they go after getting Kaylee 2, though, is going to be interesting. Interesting placement of that enemy there, but thankfully we were able to sidestep it thanks to the random enemy placement. It looks like X10 might take up Kaylee's legacy here and just take a giant axe to the Minotaur. Ooh, miss. But Minotaur's so weak at this point that the follow-up easily clears it out. And let's see what Kaylee 1 gives us. The Charm Necklace. So not as good as our Cupid Locket. Charm is the first tier of your accessory slot of armor. It does give you prevention against protection against silence, though. And we've picked up Kaylee 2. So now it's just a matter of where we're going from here. It looks like we're going back to Fireburg here. We might be opting to use Kaylee to clear out the rest of Fireburg, including Lava Dome. Or we might be going back to pick up Ruben 2. That is yet to be seen. And also we have yet to check and see what Ruben's dad is giving us. First, a little seed shopping here. with all the money accrued from that grinding, X10 has more than enough cash to get all the seeds they need. And jumbo bombs from Ruben's dad, not the item you want to see since we already have mega grenades. But we shall progress. And it looks like we lost the display for X10 real quick. Let me go ahead and check in, see what's going on with that. Apologies about that, chat. And I am getting an update here. X10 has crashed out. And they're back up and running. Thankfully, they saved before the Medusa fight, so they do not have to worry about going back to Windia for that. And yes, just like we're seeing in the chat, this is when we talk about this being one of the worst starts for any of the randomizer, we definitely mean it. This was definitely a nasty start, but please don't let that scare you away. Due to the nature of randomizer, sometimes rolls like this can happen, but other times you can get the greatest start in the world. So it is just a matter of chance here. And I think the dedication from our runners here, really plugging away, shows that these even the worst odds can be overcome with a little bit of persistence and some knowledge about the game.
I am back, and what did I miss?
So unfortunately, we did have a crash from X10. Thankfully, they did save before Medusa, so they're not all the way back in Windia here. And it looks like they went ahead and checked Ruben's dad and got some jumbo bombs. But all in all, are going back to get Kaylee too, and probably coming back to pick up Ruben too. And to answer the question from chat, unfortunately, Sir Linkalot has forfeited from this race. So, unfortunately, they are not streaming anymore at this time.
Yeah, unfortunately, this seed has been extremely cursed.
Yep.
Speaking of cursed...
Yeah, we will see Kaylee 1 get cursed again by the Minotaur. And yes, I am also running the tracker chat, so apologies if I am looking over checking chat or checking some other things and I do miss an item pickup from these runners, because once these guys have started to pick up steam, they are going to go fast. So any attention I pull away could miss an item.
Yeah, you really need to pay attention here because everything goes at you fast.
Yep, I think the only unfortunate benefit of Sir Linkalot forfeiting is we'll be able to dedicate our full attention here to X10 as they power through the rest of the seed here.
We just get a charm.
And I was so hyped about X10 getting River Coin, I forgot to check it off, so that is my apologies here. I was caught up in the moment of X10's success on finally surmounting Dullahan.
Wait, not going through Route 2?
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be sticking with Kaylee 2 through Lava Dome here.
Yeah.
And it looks like I did miss getting the elixir on here too. Sorry about that, chat. Checking in with some of the officials here, just making sure everything's still on track for us to continue this qualifier. But I do want to thank all of you for keeping me straight here and making sure our runners trackers are up to date.
Yeah. So X10 gonna go around here and pick up the life's chest. Probably gonna be vanilla life because the game knows.
I think if the game was self-aware at that point, it would just be like, here's everything vanilla. Just do your thing and get it
Trust me.
done.
Nope, sand coin.
And Sandcoin, yeah. So we've got another world opened up here to our runners, being able to diverge some more. Although I think X10 might be, yep, it looks like they're staying the course here and going to go ahead and finish clear out Lava Dome since they have all the kit they need, probably.
And now we got to hit the switch. Got to find the moon helm chest. And then we got to finish off the boss.
Mm-hmm.
Although, with the sand coin being progression, the only thing it could really... It could be the Mobius crest, could be the Thunder Rock.
Yeah, we could even get a sky coin from any of these chests, which would basically be go mode for our runner here, because sky coin and thunder rock are the only two items they need to finish technically getting through the game and getting to the final boss.
Yeah, but we're still gonna need the Mobius crest.
Oh, correct, and Mobius crest. So we have 3 items left.
Yeah. Yeah, gotta get to the dock somehow. Also, there is a chest in Spencer's cave. We haven't found any of the crests yet.
Correct. None of the warp crests have been located as of yet.
Now, of course, the only one that's useful aside from the Mobius crest being required is the possibility of the Libra crest. You know, if something's at Spencer's cave that leads to the Mobius crest.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like we just picked up Cure from the Moon Helmet chest here. So a little bit of a safety buffer here for X10. And it looks like we're switching over to the RPG check for our other runner to replace Sir Link-a-Lot here. And RPG check being our other runner that managed to get past Dualahan. So we'll be seeing what route she decides to take. And it looks like she's loaded up with a good amount of wizard spells. So there's obviously been some divergence here.
Yep, I think she just finished up with Kaylee too. I think she just had a refresher, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Yep, nothing but a Coca Kaylee. That doesn't sound right. Now let's see. So it looks like we found a Venus key. It opened. There's the life spell.
Correct. So life spell at the top of Focus Tower here. And it looks like RPG Chick was able to clear out Aquaria as well, or at least get Wake Water. So let me see if I could go through and update the tracker for her as I go through and discover what equipment she has through her menus.
Yeah.
I believe she had Cat Claw. Or she had just picked up Cat Claw. She probably has Dragon Claw already.
Yeah, there's the Thunder Rock. We traded in. So
I am discovering things with the chat here in terms of equipment.
Oh, there we go, and there's the cap.
Yep.
We use exit. That's a valid strategy.
And they're going to blow up Spencer's cave here to release Mac's ship.
Now, the interesting thing about Spencer's cave is that if you blow it up from this direction, you don't need to worry about going in from the other side to pick up these 2 checks here.
Correct.
Now, there is one check that you can't do from this side, but only if you have brown boxes turned on. If you have brown boxes, then there could possibly be a brown box turned into a chest, behind Spencer.
True.
All right, it looks like we're onto the docks now.
And I missed what item she got from the Mobius Crest chest.
I think that was Flare.
Awesome.
So now we're onto the ship here. There is one chest. the Vanilla Gaia's armor. And of course, you know, with the enemy placement being different, this is actually a very easy dungeon.
Yep,
And
and
there we
I
go.
accidentally just
There's
updated.
Excalibur.
Nice. And I was updating the wrong tracker there. Apologies about that, chat.
There we go. Use that to get up here. Okay, so it looks like we haven't found a Sky Coin yet.
Gotcha, but she does have the Mobius crest.
Looks like. They go back to Fireberg.
Yep, checking the Mega Grenade vendor here. And we get Steel Helm.
At least it's a helmet.
True.
But, well, I mean, that depends on whether or not... Well, we actually have a better helmet, so it doesn't matter.
Yep, and I am seeing Ben fully kitted out with spells here. So
There we
RPG
go.
check not lacking for firepower. Opting to pick up Phoebe 2, and it looks like if I'm reading this correct, Pazuzu might have the Sky Coin, so this might be Vanilla Sky Coin.
Vanilla Sky Coin. Oh no.
Yeah.
This seed is all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, if our racers had managed to take down Pazuzu, they would not have been able to make any sort of progression after that struggle. So probably for the best that X10 decided to go with dual hand there.
I mean, at this point in time, it's just whoever you can take down first. You just hope.
Yeah. Although the only silver lining in this is we will get to see the infamous stupid sexy Pazuzu sprite after RPG Chick kills him. And I believe X10 over here is going to make short work of this Wyvern with Ben on white and Kaylee on arrow. Although no fire resistance, so Kaylee is going to be taking full damage from these shots from Wyvern. But packing almost full recovery with those cure spells.
That's probably why X10 opted with Kaylee. Is Kaylee at least has the healing? Because you know Ruben's got the offensive, but Ruben still can only use life.
Yeah, Ruben's got the raw physical strength. Kaylee's packing that spellfire. I mean, Phoebe's packing the spellfire power, and Kaylee's got almost all the resistances you want, on top of also being a good healer.
There we go. I think we've almost got it. Nope. There we go. Down goes the Wyvern. And our reward is, besides stopping the earthquakes, is...
this wonderful crystal cutscene.
I usually just fast forward past this part.
And for our troubles, Sky Coin.
Sky Coin. Nice. It looks
So-
like we are Mobius Crest away from Go Mode?
I believe so. No, Thunder Rock and Mobius Crest for X10.
For X10, yes. But I mean, we know that the Thunder Rock is, you know, we found it. We just, the commentary, unfortunately.
Correct.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if any of the runners have gone into the Ice Pyramid.
I do not know. I know that just because Aquaria is thawed does not necessarily mean that Ice Pyramid is complete. And the randomizer Wild Ham has programmed this to make it to where you only need to complete, you only need Wake Water to thaw out Aquaria. You do not need to complete the Ice Pyramid to get that effect.
Yeah.
An RPG Chick showing off just how strong this Pazuzu rolled, and looks like he rolled fairly tanky. So, Sir Lancelot and X10's opts to take on the mini bosses rather than Pazuzu looking to be a big payoff here. I don't know if they would have actually been able to brute force their way through this fight, given the damage that Pazuzu does put out.
Now, we do know that unless the Mobius Crest is here on Pazuzu, Pazuzu would have been a bad choice anyway.
Correct. A non-progression choice, unless something shows up here.
And there we go, Pazuzu posing for that calendar.
Let's go ahead and strike that pose. Stupid sexy bird time. There's got to be someone in the community who has that as a Twitch emote, right? And the Aquaria vendor is selling a magic ring, which X10 decides to purchase with their surplus of cash from all that grinding in the beginning.
The word is now the Sky Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Air Crystal, whatever you call it. Sky is armor, which is not a bad find, but yeah, if anyone were to take down Pazuzu during that, problem earlier, then yeah, they would have been incredibly disappointed.
Yeah, for sure.
But the irony is that that would have actually helped them take down Ghidra.
And Thunder Rock was given by Phoebe, just handing that to us on a silver platter.
Oh, why not?
And it looks like RPG Chick is going on to check Ghidra before checking Lava Dome, so we will get to see what Ghidra was hiding. And just how strong the HP rolls were.
You know, now that I think about it, I think if Ghidra's got the Mobius Crest, that would allow him to get, or allow RPG Check to get Flare, easier, at least. Actually, no, you would need the Libra Crest for that.
Technically, I believe.
Oh, no, because if the Mobius Crest, you could skip the Libra Crest.
Yes, so with the Mobius Crest, you don't need to do the Mega Grenade. I was trying to remember what part you were pointing to, but yeah, no, you don't need to do the Mega Grenade Claw puzzle.
So, yeah. So now that would have been, probably wouldn't have been the most useful against Doulahan, though.
Yes, Doulahan does have fire resistance, although with the kit that they had, I think any extra damage, I think it still does about 700 damage, which is just a tiny bit more than what Mega Grenades do, but any edge would have been good. And it looks like we picked up fire from the squid.
Well, the fire resistance, or should I say the flare, would have actually taken care of the vampires in one go.
Correct. Which would have cleared up those mobs.
I'm just thinking, so it didn't matter which boss you take down, you would have gotten some advantage that would have allowed you to take down the proper boss.
Correct.
So here we go, our favorite part, quick falls basin.
Yep, and let's see.
Get a monster behind one of those pillars, in which case that's just annoying.
It is a little annoying, but let's see what setup X10 goes for here. Looks like the 3 pillars setup. I think there's a slight variation in the community from what I've seen, whether or not you use 2 of these pillars or 3 of these pillars when you're going through here. And that Giant's Axe is gonna do some major damage to this crab. We're about to see 1K rolls on this crab.
First, we've got to boil the crab.
Correct. Or we're just gonna blast it with white magic. Let's just get it done that way. An RPG Chick coming up to Ghidra here. Let's get our revenge on this this evil chimera and see what the tree is hiding. And the crab is gone. And the arrow.
Okay, well, not the most useful spell.
And it looks like one of our eagle-eyed chatters has spotted that RPG Chick does indeed have all 3 crests. Thank you for that call out.
So let's
RPG
see
chick
here.
taking a ride here. Let's see the text we get. Fly high.
You know, it was funny. I mean, I was looking at that and I was like, hey, wait a minute. That's not what the normal text says.
Correct.
It's
Wild
like,
Him
it's
has...
randomized. Ooh.
Yeah, on top of the text being randomized for some of our NPCs, those trees have been randomized too, and they're dependent on the seed. So you never know what those trees are going to spell out for you, chat. It's just up to you on whether or not you want to see them.
I mean,
And
I guess you could say that is the reward for having to go through this slog of a dungeon.
I was about to say, if I had to start like that and I managed to get through it, I'd be flying pretty high myself. I'd be thanking that tree.
So anyway, what do we got here behind Ghidra?
Survey says... Multi-key.
Multi-key. Unfortunately, well, hey, wait a minute. Does that mean RPG Check has the... Yeah, RPG Check does have the Mobius Crest, because we did check out the ship.
Correct. I think the only item she's missing at this point is Sky Coin for Go mode.
We know where the Sky Coin is.
Correct. And we got the Moon Helmet for X10. And unfortunately, X10 has not the Libra Crest nor the Mobius Crest, so unable to check that third chest in Spencer's Cave.
You mean the flare chest?
Correct.
Yeah, the chest has flare, so yeah, that's unfortunate.
The perks to clearing out Doulahan, the old lady in Windia is now selling seeds now that the wind is not a-blowing.
I'm wondering if RPG Check did go into the Ice Pyramid.
Possibly. Unfortunately, we did not have eyes on that stream at the beginning, so
Yeah.
we will have to rely on X10 on whether or not they go into the Ice Pyramid to really see if that was required.
Looks like X10 is like, wait a minute, this isn't the way to Watera. Is it Watera or Watera?
Aquaria.
Aquaria. You know what? You have Foresta, you have Winda. It's like, I must be thinking of the spell in another game. And guys, I do know this game. I swear I do know this game. I am not an imposter.
It is, if you are running multiple randomizers and you have a library under your book, under yourself on what you are running, it can sometimes be easy to mix those up. And I did spy, I do spy a Giant's Axe on RPG Check, and the Gemini Crest is in the pyramid, so it does look like RPG Check did clear out Ice Pyramid.
Yeah. What's X10 doing? Oh, wait.
It looks like X10's looking to break a little bit of logic here and is going for
right.
the...
Yeah, they're gonna go and do the exit trick here.
Correct. So, Chad, if you don't know about this, what X10 is going to be doing is taking that Gemini Crest and going to the temple in Southern Fireburg. And when they take the Gemini Crest warp, it actually put them in that temple on the right side of the screen in Aquaria. And due to not normally being able to maneuver in that area, I don't know if Wild Ham has programmed it or it's a programming oversight from the vanilla game, but they will be able to move around in that frozen over area and be able to see what's at the top of Focus Tower.
Yeah, that's right. I just remember the Seal Temple is, sealed off until after you beat the mines. And you know what? I would kind of like to see some of that stuff return. You know, there's that battlefield, just to the west of the Wintry Cave that opens up. And then, of course, you've got the Seal Temple that's after you, blow up the rock. It'd be nice to see some of those come back.
Yep, and an Aegis Shield for X10, and I'm going to go ahead and take the opportunity to assume that RPG Check also got it because she was checking the top of Focus Tower when we checked in on her. And I just missed what that was. Did you catch what the X10 just got from that?
That's for a cat claw.
Okay, gotcha.
Now if we had progressive gear on, that would have been extremely important.
Correct. There is a toggle for the randomizer to have progressive gear, chat. And what we're talking about when we're mentioning progressive gear is anytime that you were to get a weapon item, or I believe it also affects armor,
Yeah,
you
weapons
will
and
get
armor.
you will get the next tier of that item when you get a chest for that. So if you were to pick up a sword chest, you would not have no chances of getting the Excalibur. Instead, you would either get the steel sword. If you already had a steel sword, you would get the knight's sword, and so on and so forth with all the other pieces of equipment. So if you want to add another layer of complexity to the randomizer that way, that option is available. And I do believe Venus Key has been picked up by X10. I think I saw them check that chest when they went in Spencer's cave. And once RPG Chick clears out this wyvern, this will be go mode for her.
Yep, after already cleaning out the ship, just has to go, you know, ride the ship over to the entrance and use the sky coin, and there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any of these runners are going to have a problem with their levels.
No, the level is definitely not going to be the inhibitor for this final fight. I think after the struggle at the beginning here, Dark King will seem like a breeze in comparison.
Maybe if we're lucky.
Oh, and X10 taking a fall from the speed increase here. That's another thing that's been tweaked with the randomizer, chat. So
Yes.
Ben, you're not
There we go.
misremembering. Ben
There's
does not
the crest.
There it is. Yeah, Ben does not normally move this fast. The randomizer has increased Ben's movement speed, I think, by a factor of 2 here. So he's moving about twice as fast. And X10 opting to leave. I believe that's go mode for X10 as well. So both of our...
We've got a race here.
Yeah, we have a race here with our runners.
It has not completed the ship yet.
Correct. There goes.
So RPG Chick is still going to gain a little bit of time on X10.
Correct. And opting to do some seed shopping here before exiting, and then going to come back in and take the Mobius crest, more than likely, to Windia.
You missing something? Oh, there we go. Yeah, RPG Chick, just gonna enter here, go straight to the steering wheel, and we are off to the final dungeon.
Mm-hmm. X10 will not be far behind. I think the limiting factor on who's going to finish first here is definitely going to be RNG at this point.
And anyway, here's one of the best music tracks in the game.
Yeah, Doom Tower is definitely the best, one of the best bops in this game. I think if I had to choose between the Doom Tower theme or Dark King theme, probably go with Dark King, but Doom Tower being a close second.
There we go. We are going to exit the boss. Take care of that thing.
I'm an X10 entering the base of the tower right on the heels of RPG Chick here.
Here we go. We've got the ice maze.
And X10 also making short work of that first refight.
Go on the way to the Iron Golem. There's a Stone Golem. Nope, Stone Golem. Iron Golem is a completely different Final Fantasy game.
Indeed it is. Rock and Stone. Or that's another game entirely as well.
That boss too.
Correct. You can exit the Skull Dinosaur refight and Stone Golem. After this point, no more exits allowed.
Yeah, no, I definitely knew about the Skullosaurus, but I didn't know about the Stone Golem.
Yeah, funny fact about Skullsaurus, he technically has 3 instant kill exploits. You can either opt to use life on your partner. Ben, for some reason, cannot trigger the life instant kill, but your partner can. You can also use exit, or if you get a lucky roll, you can even petrify him. So 3 options to make short work of that enemy.
One hit with the Dragon Claw. If I'm not mistaken, I think the heal spell does do petrify, I think.
I'll be honest, I've only used heal once or twice on an enemy doing a vanilla run, and I didn't see any results, so I never bothered to track. I'll have to look up and see if that's a possibility.
I thought it was Ben who had that. I think it's Ben that has the zombie one. That's the cure. No, that's completely different than the Dark King bug.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, Cure will deal damage to undead enemies in this game.
Yeah. If you ever want to know just how ridiculous the damage cap on this game is, there is no damage cap. I remember using a Game Genie code when I was a kid. They have the Mega Grenades. I'm pretty sure there was like at least 6 or 7 or 8 zeros worth of or digits. It was like the digits were like half the screen long. Like, I'm pretty sure I did more damage to the final boss than there is damage to everyone in the entire game. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Here we go, we're on to the Z fight.
So we'll get Stupid Sexy Bird Part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
RPG check ahead by about a boss.
And thankfully, she's so kitted out in levels, and both of our runners being so kitted out in levels, these refights, when the little fights coming up and the refights are probably going to be nothing serious to them. So just cruising on through.
Well, I think we're getting our, it's a Thanos, thinking Dullahan. Well, I guess we could say represents all of the bosses that you fought in that area.
Yeah, I think just about every mini-boss sprite is reused in Doom Tower as a regular standard fight. And I think if I would call this seed anything, I would call this a revenge seed. After that initial struggle, coming through here and just clearing out Doom Tower must feel so cathartic to these runners.
Yeah, especially since they are going to be the only 2 runners finishing.
2 of 3. We do have another confirmed
2 of 3? Oh, we still have one more? Okay.
An RPG Jack headed off to the Dark King. Let's see what stats the King has rolled. We can either have a middle ground or a Paper King. which would definitely be a nice relief for both of our runners to see at the very end of this arduous trial here, or a really thick 125 king. And one white going off could signal a paper king, but we've definitely seen a single spell bring the first phase down, and then 2, 3, and 4 being hefty. So let's see how this looks here for RPG Chick.
That's 2 spells here. Oh, there we go. 3 spells and we're off to the third fight.
Looking like a low roll so far, but anything can happen with this third and fourth phase. I believe all the phases of the Dark King are randomized separately in terms of strength percentage.
Yep.
Ooh,
And the Dark King was a spider all this time.
And Phoebe being down here, RPG Chick's gonna go ahead and scramble to get her up, although she has 960 life, so plenty of life to spare. Normally when you get here in the others, in a more forgiving seed, you're sitting around the level 16 to 18 range, and you don't have that much life to live through multiple Dark King attacks with Ben.
Oh, there we go. Now we're on to the last
Final phase. We might have ourselves a Paper King on our hands here, chat. Definitely a reward for any of the runners who managed to get past that opening.
Not yet, not yet.
And X10 is also making his way up to the end. Yep, on his way to the Dark King. Ooh, and that would normally be scary, but 198 HP left. Not too bad.
There we go.
Yeah, Dark King's not going down without a fight here. Definitely putting our RPG Chick through her paces. And X10 starting Dark King.
There it is.
And that is time for the RPG Chick. And chat, I want to see all the GGs for our runners here tonight. This is by far the biggest outlier seed that I think the community has seen so far in terms of difficulty. Definitely putting your persistence and your knowledge to the test here. So congrats to all of our runners who managed to complete the seed. X10 finishing up phase 2 while I'm singing our runners' praises here. And those silver webs can be...
The was the problem. Oh no.
Oh no. No, Otto, you are mistaken, my friend.
Not this seed.
Tristram was the problem. Tristram was the problem all along.
You know what? That needs to be changed. That just needs to be changed.
Yeah, we need to have a custom sprite of Tristram in the final fight.
Tristram was the final boss.
An X10 taking a death here at Dark King, but honestly being able to shrug that off, no problems there. And getting a check-in from the RPG Chick. Words are, I think, only the beginning for this seed. There's so much more that this seed deserves. Scorn being one of them, I think.
The worst part about this ending is you're stuck with Tristram at the end.
Yeah, being stuck on that ship with Tristram, I think would be punishment enough.
That he was the most worthless. The developers knew.
Oh, they knew.
Final Fantasy Mystic Quest 2.
It looks like we have a few gluttons for punishment actually asking for the seed so they can try it out themselves at home, and I salute you. I think once everybody's done here, we'll see if we can get this posted and really test some of the fortitude of new members joining the community. And Chanigan posted in there in Twitch chat. So for all of you who are able to complete the seed, I salute you. X10 coming up here on the end now. Looking to go full offense here on this last phase. And that is time for X10. So again, I want to give my GGs to everybody who participated in the qualifier tonight. It is definitely not an easy seed. This is definitely one of our challenge checks for the community. I think one of the more difficult seeds we've seen by far, and a great showing from all of our runners tonight. So let's go ahead and see if we can go ahead and get the invite sent and get X10 in here for an interview. I definitely want to pick their brain after that intense run.
So you gotta love the end credits here with the ship going on the ice.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Just sailing away through that ice flow. And it looks like we are joined by X10. Congrats on finishing that seed. That was arduous to watch. I applaud your persistence and ingenuity getting through that.
Like, I don't know if my face was shown, but I think I had every single facial reaction I can imagine during that whole scene.
No, we did. So on the restream, we did not have your face, but I think the audience could feel just the thoughts going through your head and seeing that process of who do I fight? What can I even get done? Definitely one of the hardest seeds I think any of us has seen start-wise. How did you feel coming into this once you kind of realized you were stuck in Windia with Tristram 1? Like, what was going through your brain?
I'm like, I never imagined this could happen. Like, what do I do? So I'm like, let's go for Pursuer's Tower first and get 2 checks in there before fighting the boss. Those 2 checks hope he saves me. Sadly, they didn't. I'm like, alright, let's go and win it through order then and go for the tree. I get to Gridor and I'm like, there's no way I'll be able to beat this boss. The second time I'm up there again, I'm like, there's no way I can beat this boss. Like, let's go to Mount Gale. I love the music there. We'll just go there and try Dorhan just for fun. I'm like, oh, this is possible.
Yeah, and it seemed like Dullahan was honestly the best choice out of the 3, with Ghidra throwing out so many status ailments and then having to put Petrify on the list. Did you, I gotta ask, did you audibly cheer when you managed to get a paralysis off on Dullahan to finish out that fight?
So it's in the first time I did the fight, I realized he wasn't doing anything to me. I'm like, wait, I paralyzed him. So I made sure Tristram focused on him. I think it was after like the second try to face the enemy, and I realized I could paralyze and keep this guy stun lock for me to kill him. So yes.
Yeah. I think all of us. I think I personally popped off on your behalf, and Jiggly as well. After watching, God, how long was it, Jiggly? About 30, 40 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah, it was at least nearly an hour before he got out of that area.
Yeah, and the rest of the run must have felt super easy after that. Like, the rest of this was baby mode for babies after getting through that trial, right?
Yeah, I was like level 18 by that point. I'm like, I don't need to grind anymore. Just go.
Yeah, it's like my fighting's done. The only thing I need to kill is what's in my way. So, would you? We've been saying it a lot over the past hour and a half, and I kind of want to get your thoughts on this. Is this one of the hardest seeds you've rolled, settings wise? I mean, not settings wise, but just in general, from any of the randomizer seeds you've rolled. Yeah.
Yes, I played the original FFMQ rando. But that one became impossible. This is close to that level of difficulty.
Yeah, even with all the safeties put in place, and we were seeing some concern from the chat on just the spike in difficulty that you guys encounter. And I think I kind of want to get your opinion on that. This has been kind of the most abnormal difficulty seed you've seen out of the stuff you've rolled, right?
Yes. Like, I don't imagine this was a possibility. Like, I could see going in Pursuer's Tower to go for those 2 chests. But to fight one of those bosses, I'm like, oh dear.
Yeah, and it looks like we're getting some apologies from Chanigan in the chat. Well, for rolling that seed, I don't think anybody in the community knew that that was a possibility, and
Hey,
I'm sure.
Can we borrow them for the Zelda 1 randomizer, maybe?
Oh dear. Oh, going
Revenge
to
of the
level 9
Fire
first?
Seed. Yeah, this is by far not even the longest commentary stint I've had to do. I've seen worse.
Oh, trust me, this one felt pretty bad to play.
Oh, this was absolutely horrendous. For my first time doing commentary for a different game, this is the worst. So,
But I got to give you props, though. You finished it. You really plowed through and really kind of showed the community kind of the ingenuity and the thought of what you can do when you're kind of pushed up with your back against the wall in those kind of circumstances. So again, I want to give you my greatest congratulations for finishing that seed and really kind of working out that solution.
One of the funny part, besides the seed I did 2 days ago, I haven't done it in 2 months. So I'm still de-rusting.
Yeah, and you plan on participating in any more qualifiers after this?
I imagine I will have to, because I didn't do too good my first one, and the timing of this one, as well.
Yeah, and I think the rest of the runners are definitely behind that. So it does look like we did run a little long. Did you have any other final thoughts you kind of wanted to give to the chat, or any shout outs to anybody tonight? Maybe to Chanigan for rolling that seed.
I'll check again, before you roll any seeds, get a good night's sleep first, okay? It's those.
For sure.
The second thing, don't let that seed scare you, okay? If that scares you, please come onto the Final Fantasy Mystic Quest Randomizer Discord, and we'll find a good seed to start with. We won't give you that one, okay? We'll give you one that was vetted ahead of time if you want one.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of resources for newer members of the community. And again, that's ffmqrando.net if you want to go ahead and start generating a seed. And there is a link to the community Discord on that site. So if you want to join us, get in on the randomizer action with Mystic Quest, we have plenty of seeds in our seed channel. We're making a new player resource for new runners, and we have a ton of seasoned community members who are more than willing to give you a hand or maybe help you out with your first seed if you do get stuck. So,
and can I make one more shout out? There is a tracker and emo tracker as well to help you track everything that's going on, and it's being looked on.
Yep, there is an existing emo tracker for this game as well. So, like X10 said, you could definitely use that and help kind of keep things straight. So, it does look like we had a small hiccup with the stream.
Yep, and thankfully I was able to get my microphone issues worked out.
So all in all, it's been an interesting night, but I do want to go ahead and thank everybody for watching. Thanks SpeedGaming for hosting us tonight. And I do think that we are finished here for tonight. Would you say that, Jiggly?
Yeah, I'd say we're done.
All right, folks, you guys have a great evening, and join us again next weekend. We will be doing 3 more qualifiers around 9:30 p.m. East Coast time. So good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.